was an unseasonably warm autumn morning when the shooting occurred. Four students and their instructor were shot to death in another senseless and random act of violence, what some feared was becoming the epidemic of our time. The perpetrator of the day's atrocity went by the name of Fred Mungfest. Fred's father worked over the phone in the claims department of a large insurance company. Fred's mother also worked over the phone for the call forwarding service of a foot and ankle clinic. Ironically, neither were much for conversation. Fred didn't have any brothers. He didn't have any sisters. He didn't have any friends. Fred wasn't abused as a child, nor was he ridiculed at school. He didn't play violent video games. He didn't watch violent movies. He didn't read books or even listen to music. Fred never felt sad, or scared, or unwanted, or happy, or free, or loved.
Now, though it is relatively new coinage...
Fred didn't care for his classes, or for his grades, or his new dorm room, or his new town. He didn't want to participate in icebreakers, or attend mixers, or play frisbee.
Fred. Fred?
In fact, in his entire life, Fred could only remember ever feeling two things. The first was utter resolve before he pulled the first trigger. The other was immediate regret. Professor Clifford Roderick was a well-respected member of the faculty. He had recently published the controversial new bestseller, Left is Right and Right is Wrong, and was enjoying his newfound celebrity status.
Hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
Teresa.
Teresa.
With an H.
I dedicate this work to both my greatest source of inspiration and my greatest source of pride, my son, Calvin.
During the writing of the professor's book, Calvin found himself at odds with his father. However, the dedication was a surprise to him, and it made his resentment seem petty. He had resolved to reconnect with his father and put their quarrels to rest. He would learn of his father's death while collecting supplies for a father-son whitewater rafting trip. Sid Choi had just returned to college after taking a year off.
This is bad news, so I'll spare you the anticipation. It's breast cancer.
He is survived by his girlfriend of 6 years and high school sweetheart, Rachel Kim. The previous summer, Rachel was diagnosed with breast cancer. Sid dedicated himself to helping her through the treatment.
How bad is it?
He even shaved his head as a gesture of solidarity. Rachel never lost her hair. Once, while Rachel was homesick from radiation treatments, Sid paid a stripper $200 for a blowjob. Perhaps it was the mounting frustration one would expect from a young man charged with the care of such a premature burden. Whatever the case, Sid's climax that night was more intense, more gratifying than any sexual contact he had ever experienced. At the time of his death, it was not the ailing Rachel on Sid's mind, but the stripper and that magnificent orgasm. Jerry Kunkel was studying to become a civil engineer.
Say cheese.
When Jerry was 8, he received an honorable mention in the design category of his troop's annual Pinewood Derby event. Sadly, not much to say about Jerry since.
Fucker. Yeah.
Albert Campos was the first person in his family to receive the opportunity of higher education. Albert had recently lost his virginity to a young lady named Marie. The intercourse lasted only 43 seconds. It was the greatest sense of humiliation he would ever suffer. She was the only thing on his mind at the time of his death. Albert was the only child of Beatrice Campos. She had lost a toe to diabetes earlier that year. She would learn of her son's death from a 24-hour cable news network. In less than a month's time, she too will die from cardiac arrest. Tiffany Chopra suffered from unrealistic perceptions of success. Once, while walking home after a frustrating exam, Tiffany was startled by two hippies begging for change.
I'm sorry, dude, I'm sorry. I know, because you had the headphones and I couldn't. No, I'm sorry.
You didn't have pepper spray or taser or something.
Well, we just need a little bit of help, you know what I mean? Like,
we gotta make it to the hostel downtown.
There's this long...
Tiffany learned that they were travelers.
It's world music and like...
No, it's not, whatever, dude.
This awoke a strange fascination Tiffany had never experienced before.
Do you guys need a place to stay?
No?
Yes, we do!
Against her better judgment, Tiffany brought them back to her apartment.
Yes. We can stay with you?
She cooked them frozen pizza, shared her bargain wine, and laughed until late into the evening.
No. No. Right. And you're just like, there is as long as I have my eye on it, the fucking tarantula's not gonna attack me.
The next morning, Tiffany awoke to find the sheets she had given the boys neatly folded and stacked where they had slept. A postcard they had left contained a simple message.
Until next time.
This small memento the travelers left sparked a sense of longing.
Now,
A desire for adventure unlike Tiffany had ever felt.
pink tide has become prominent in the contemporary discussion.
That afternoon, instead of taking notes during Professor Roderick's lecture,
Tell me why.
Tiffany booked a one-way ticket to Bangladesh.
Fred?
She was scheduled to leave at the end of the term.
If you are just now joining us, we are covering a breaking news story. We have confirmation that 6 people are confirmed dead.
I sit in front of my television and I see the carnage.
What we know is that the shooting was an isolated
I hear the
incident
names of the fallen.
occurred in the early morning
I learn what
hours
type of pistol was used and the ammunition it takes.
Police responded moments after a reported sighting of a man dressed in battle armor wielding several
I get every
firearms
minuscule
entering the main
detail,
hall.
and I am not shocked. This thought enters my consciousness. I am not shocked, and I am saddened. saddened not for the loss of life, but for the loss of caring. I am unwillingly numb, actively apathetic. In the blink of an eye, I ponder the lives of those no longer with us. I imagine a chance encounter, a failed connection, a simple pleasure,
We got those fuckers.
an infidelity, a brush with fame, regret. I see these people and know that they are neither good nor evil, just human, as I am. I mourn them in an instant. I take a breath. I change the channel.